Hi again. We will continue on the supply chain management topic. In this slide, I will be talking about the different flow that we need to manage as a supply chain managers. We have to manage the flow of product or service, and that's would be the traditional one going from the supplier, raw material from the supplier, manufacturer, distributor, and then to the customer. And the other one, the other flow would be the information flow, which is coming from the customer needs, asking them what they want, forecast the data based on the demand, based on historical information from last year, and then move it back from the bottom up in the chain to be able to meet the demand. And the financial flow, which is involved credit terms, payment, collecting the cash, ownership agreements and arrangements, all that's going to be in a different flow. So these are the three things, the three flows that we consider and we see in the supply chain. Now, what we have here, we have some questions that we should answer to be able to understand what supply chain. First question that I have here is, how much should I buy? And remember that when you want to buy material, you're converting cash into inventory. So you need to be aware of some opportunity that you might lose because you invest your money in something else. So what I recommend is just ask yourself, do I need that? Sometimes we pass by the sales and the bargain, products, and we say, okay, well, should we buy it? Well, now there are several things that we should consider, and we will talk about it in a different slide. But why do we need it? We buy things because we need to use it. Otherwise, if we don't use it, it's going to be a waste of time. But we should buy enough that cover our needs, and then the extra one is not going to be used. It's going to be a waste of time. And that will remind me of when we have to order, or if we need to break inventory into two categories based on the inventory. One is the cycle stock and the safety stock, or that's a technical term. What the public people know it, just-in-time inventory and just-in-case inventory. Just-in-time inventory, what you need for your daily use. Just-in-case inventory, it's if something goes wrong, you need it to be covered, such as the insurance policy. The insurance policy, we don't use it, but we use it in case something went wrong. So keep in mind, when you buy things, do you have a place to store it? And if yes, what kind of inventory do you have? Are you doing the cycle stock or safety stock? Just-in-time inventory or just in case? Are you exceeding what you need, which basically that might be a waste of money. So maybe we don't need it. We should just consider what we could use. Where should I buy things? Now, another concept is, should I focus on one place, one supplier, and build a strong relationship with the supplier, or multiple? Well, first of all, it's hard to answer this question. It's you don't know where would be the best place to buy things, but this video hopefully will help you decide on what would be the best value for you to buy the product or the service. And when we say the value, would be the right product or service in the right quantity, right quality, right place at the right time. So once we have all these parts, that would be the best value for us. Again, when we talk about supply chain, it's not only the cost of a product. You want to add the transportation cost, the storing cost, other cost, opportunity cost. There's so many costs are available or related to the supply chain, and we should be aware of it. So what you need to do, assess your need to buy things. And how we could assess our need, we could use something called the importance and risk chart, and in which this chart divide the items based on the importance and how risky to find it or not. All right, so when we talk about supply chain risk, that happened because of disruption, happen in the supply chain, quality issues, or loss of control of sensitive information. If we have disruption, could be natural disaster. We're facing it right now with the COVID and beyond COVID as well. Supplier problem, maybe the supplier has his own issue, their own issues, so we have to consider switching supplier if possible. Quality issue, maybe there is liabilities and claims and recall for products that will require from you to stop that product, and in that where the disruption of the supply chain coming from as well. And loss of control of sensitive. Now we're talking about a very important trend in supply chain, everything online, and companies has to take care of the information for their customers. How? By taking care of the sensitive information, and whether the customer or their own creative things that they're doing because they're sensitive. But if the competitor found these information, that would weaken the company and they will lose some competitive position in the market. All right, going back to the importance and risk chart, where we have low risk, not important items. And what we need to do, we need to buy these anywhere, or we can buy these anywhere, so we can get the best deal off it. These usually, they're not important and it's not risky. And I did provided the video games as an example for you. And that could be not the case for one of you here. Maybe they value the video game more than food. So it's really depends on your needs. But I'm going to give you these examples. Hopefully will help you understand how to select a product. The second category would be low importance by high risk, but high risk items, where you cannot get them anywhere. You can't get them every season. So what you need to do, you have to make sure that you know all the stores in town, who get them, and make sure that you understand when they get them in the stocks, and so you could buy them when they have it, and then you have options to choose from. An example of this, that would be rare fruit that is only available on Christmas, and not all grocery store might bring them. So you have to be using this strategy, which is low importance but high risk items. The third category would be high importance and low risk. High importance, low risk, we absolutely need it. We use it, but we can use it anywhere. We could find it anywhere. So you could shop it, you could find the best deal, or maybe you could add it to orders just to get a discount, or maybe a free shipping when we buy from Amazon and so on, such as the detergent, for example. We need it. It's high importance, but low risk. High risk, high importance. This is where we need to build a strategic partnering. We have to understand the whole supply system. We have to build the relationship with our suppliers. And so build a trust with them. Understand where those things have came from and how they have been handled. In this case, what I put here as a funny here, being important, high risk and high importance item is a toilet paper, which I think it is really important there. And I think we should be considering this. And that's maybe the reason why we couldn't find a toilet paper a few months ago. All right, so for these items that are important and high risk, what we have to do, we have to build strategic partnering, which is basically building a relationship with other organizations, and both organizations will have a mutual benefit. For example, when a supplier agrees to hold inventory for a customer in return for a long commitment, both of them will be a win-win situation. Thus, the customer will have their own material and supply available anytime, and the supplier will have a customer. He won a customer and continue in the market with that customer. Another important concept in supply chain management is procurement. Procurement is important in supply chain management, And I'm going to leave that for another video. We'll see you in another video.